A New York homeowner left the state for a few months and came back to find his house gone. Veteran Philip Williams went to Florida to recover from knee surgery. When he returned to New York, his house was just a grassy lot.
Somebody could have called me, somebody could have notified me, said, hey, listen, here's what's going on.
He's paying his mortgage. There was no foreclosure. This was not a zombie house.
Well, Crimesider's Graham Cate is here to talk about this. Not really a crime, but tell us exactly why this guy's house was demolished.
Yeah, I'll lay out both sides for you, and you kind of judge whether you think he's on the right or the town's on the right. So basically, in October of last year, the town says they sent him a notice saying you've got some issues with your house. It looks like hasn't been being kept up very well, and we need you to fix it. But soon after that, as you mentioned, he went to Florida. He went to go get knee replacement surgery, and then he had a bunch of issues while he was there. He actually had kidney failure after that surgery, and that had to lead to another surgery on his prostate. The long story short, he doesn't come back until August of this year, and when he returns, his house is just gone. And what the town says is, well, we were sending you notices. We sent you a notice in December that said we inspected your house, had some issues, and frankly, we're going to have a hearing saying that we might demolish this thing, and you didn't show up at the hearing. And he's saying, but I was in Florida getting surgery, so how was I supposed to know that you were sending me these notices? He's pointed out that he arranged for his bills to be handled electronically. He lowered the heat to a temperature where the pipes wouldn't freeze. He did a lot of what you'd say you'd do to take care of a house through the winter. But of course, he stayed for a little bit longer than that, and things got overgrown, and the house, according to his neighbors, did look abandoned. Yeah,
but in addition to doing all those things, he was paying his mortgage. So wouldn't the town be able to at least follow up on that and realize, well, look, he's actually still paying the mortgage. He hasn't abandoned it? It's kind of outrageous, actually.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't look like they did that much research on it beyond doing the inspection. And Hempstead is kind of at the center of this crisis New York State is having with zombie houses. And these are houses that have been abandoned because of foreclosure. And so Hempstead and Long Island, throughout Long Island in New York, there are towns that are kind of just taking care of houses that have been abandoned. The problem here is that it wasn't abandoned. He was still, as you said, paying for it.
Yeah, and so he says his house was in fine shape, but some of his neighbors disagree with that. So let's listen to what two of them had to say.
The house was abandoned. I mean, that's the way it looked.
Windows broken, leaks all over, lots of trash.
This is why I don't live in the suburbs, but I gotta say, like, who are the neighbors to say what is appealing or what is attractive and not? I mean, it's not bothering you other than it may be an eyesore, but and looking at that picture, doesn't look, I've seen worse.
Yeah, I mean, so it wasn't the neighbors who actually made the decision. The town sent an inspector. The town said that it had some dangerous. Though it's funny, actually, the town said it had some dangerous issues for people who are inside the house because there was like a leaky ceiling and some stuff that did look pretty bad. But of course, no one was inside the house because he was in Florida for his surgeries. So
he's suing the town. How much is he? What's he asking for?
That's not clear just yet. I think they're kind of still in the early stages of the lawsuit. But at the very least, he needs them to admit fault, and they're not doing that right now. They're saying, we followed our legal protocol. We let you know that this was going to happen, and you didn't stop it from happening.
Man, all right. Graham Cate, thank you very much. It's kind of an outrageous story, but an interesting one nonetheless. Remember, you can track investigations and read up on all the big crime stories of the day at cbsnews.com/Crimesider.